In this video, we'll be discussing, as the title suggests, will Jay Morrison be going to jail? Now, I don't know, and I hope not. But there's just a few things that bother me. But let me add some context to what I'm saying. And my name is Robert Scott Jr. And back in 2018, I met Jay Morrison here in Atlanta, Georgia. He was given a corner class over by Clark Atlanta University, and I guess there was uh, some type of issue where they didn't want us over there, so we had to move across the street to the Publix parking lot. I took some pictures with Jay. He talked about real estate and things of that nature. Um, Seemed to be a good guy to me. I didn't really have any problems with him. Fast forward 2020, I put out a video because there was some allegations that popped up. Number one, he had never sold anything at Sotheby's, even though he worked there. He had never sold anything. Number two, there was an issue allegedly at Caldwell Bankers where something fraudulent went on. They caught wind of it. They actually revoked his license. Um, Young Jeezy supposedly gave his company $1 million. Turns out allegedly that might not be true. Also, um, just just different things were coming up. And I said back in 2020, I said, Jay, if what's true is true, because only you should just step down. You should just step down, take a few dollars, step down, do not mess up the fun for everyone. That was in 2020. Here we are in 2023. The fund has what? Maybe I don't know if the fund owns the Black House anymore, or the Legacy Center. I don't think they own it anymore, because documentation came up where he refinanced it. It's owned by another company, so on and so forth. But as I listened to the video of the meeting that they had the other day, what prompted me to make this video and ask the question, is Jay Morrison going to jail, is because there's so much, in my opinion, commingling of funds. I don't. So let me tell you exactly what I'm saying. TREF, and this is what Jay Morrison said in the video, that TREF bought 27 acres. And he bought, I'm sorry, 32 acres. And he bought 27 acres from TREF. But yet TREF has the exclusive rights of development on the parcel that his family owns. Well, wait a minute, Jay. Aren't you the fund manager? Aren't you the fund manager? So you mean to tell me that this land, that's valuable land, that's 12 miles outside of the property that the city of College Park owns, that they're developing, that someday is going to be worth a lot of money, we, the TREF investors, we couldn't keep it. We couldn't keep it and develop it and make money and turn it into a Black Wall Street. That wasn't possible. You needed to buy it from TREF. Well, let me ask you a question. Who did South Fulton, right? Because I guess that's whatever the name of it, South Fulton Group, whatever the name of it is. Who did they ask at the TREF fund to buy the property? And who at TREF said, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll sell it to you. I think allegedly it was you having a meeting with yourself. And as the fund manager, you have a fiduciary responsibility that you cannot act on both sides of the transaction. And this is why I'm saying it may be possible that Jay Morrison is going to jail, because ignorance is not a means, is not a legal defense. Ignorance is not a legal defense. Let's go back to the very beginning. Also in your video, or the TREF video, Jay Morrison said that no one else had ever done this before. in terms of crowdfunding and raising money, lots of money from accredited investors. Okay, so if you knew that from the very beginning, how come you didn't put a board together? And you knew that you didn't have the knowledge. You had never managed anything remotely near $11 million. Never. And you know that. So how come you just didn't hire a board? Okay, year one, things were difficult, things were moving. Okay, year two went by. Same thing. Okay, by year three, you didn't realize that you couldn't handle it? You didn't realize it, that you needed to hire a board. So you kept doing what you was doing. And you mean to tell me with $11 million across the country, you couldn't find anything? When real estate was going up, you couldn't find anything. Anything. And when we look at the numbers, right, when we look at the books, where's all this marketing money going? I think once they look over the books, once they look through all of these LLCs, they're going to find some improprieties. And I feel that Jay Morrison will either do some time or there's going to be severe consequences. I don't think he meant to do it. Like he set out to scam the people. I don't think so. I think he got it over his head. And in getting it over his head, as I said in 2020, listen, you need to just drop out. Just drop out. Because why? It wasn't going to turn out well. And so here we are. I personally believe that there was something shady going on after a while, and that Jay Morrison did have knowledge of what he was doing. Because why did you create all these LLCs? And why didn't you divulge it to the TREF fund investors? You are the fund manager. You have a responsibility to divulge that information. Who knew that you refinanced the Black House? Did you come out and say it? I never heard anything about it. Who knew that, check this out, who knew that TREF bought the house or the land that the house was on, and you bought it from TREF? Suppose we didn't want to sell it. Suppose we did not want to sell it because it had the 32 acres. You had a conversation with yourself, Jay. You had a conversation with yourself about whether we were going to sell the property or not as the fund manager. Okay, well, as the fund manager, you had a fiduciary responsibility not to be on both sides. You can't own the LLC that bought the land from the fund that you manage. Does that make sense to you? That doesn't make sense to me. You said, well, Mr. Scott, you're passionate. Yeah, I'm passionate because it's sad. It's sad because I don't want to see anything happen to Jay. I don't want to see Jay go to jail. I think that Jay is talented. I think that Jay has a lot of potential. I think that he's useful. In over his head. And it's sad when you try to defend the indefensible. The paperwork is there. They know those LLCs are yours. Why? Because you put your name on the paperwork. So what's the name of the property? I don't know what the name of the I think it's South Fulton LLC, right? Is that what it is? South Fulton LLC Group or something like that. I don't really know what it is. Bought the property from TREF. I'm just trying to figure out, why would TREF sell it? Why would TREF sell the property to you? Why didn't TREF lease the property to you? Because he knew it had value. Why wouldn't they just lease it to you? Why would they sell it to you and sell you 27 acres of the 32? Why didn't they sell you an acre? You say, oh, well, wow, we saved them the closing costs. Duh. Carrying costs are part of it, right? Couldn't we have taken the 27 or 32 acres to the bank and leveraged it as collateral to get funding to build on it? So now your company bought 27 acres from TREF, but gave them the right to build on it. And with what money? So what money is TREF? Since TREF has less than 500,000, what money is TREF going to use to build on it? And why is TREF building, right? Why would TREF want to build on your property when it owned the property in the first place? There are a lot of things that don't make sense to those who know, right? This is not hard. Jay, from me to you, you need to step down. When the brother asked you if everybody signed a petition for you to step down, there was a long pause. What pause? Pause for what? If that's what the people want and you're for the people, then you need to step down. Now, I understand you said that there's no evidence that that's what the people want. And I clearly understand that because, people haven't come forward. But I'm saying, I've been following you for quite a while, all the way back to when you were on the news. I think it was NBC News or whatever the news was in New York City as a celebrity realtor. I've been following you for quite a while. And now you're on this mission where God has saved your life and it seemed like you've atoned. Then you got to go all the way. You are a horrible fund manager because you don't have the experience. I know of a handful of individuals who could have easily flipped that 11 million. Easily. Don't make it hard for yourself, Jay. You need to step down because once the SEC comes in and they start looking, with a fine-tooth comb, my brother, I'm telling you, it does not look good. And ignorance is not a legal defense. The fact that you didn't know, yeah, but you knew from the very beginning that you did not know. And did you go and seek out individuals who you thought may have known? The answer to that question is no. No. Allegedly, when you started the fund, not too long before, you had filed bankruptcy and told the bankruptcy court you had like sub $100 in your account. I don't know. Will Jay Morrison be going to jail? I don't know. I think that maybe he will. And if not, there's some severe consequences coming behind this. To Jay, as I said, you need to step down, my brother. Go ahead and step down. Get your affairs in order. Get you an attorney because you're going to need one. And also, if my memory serves me well, I think that the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad dealt with a similar crowdfunding situation. Was it crowdfunding? Not like that, but I'm telling you in terms of galvanizing money from the public and doing something with it. You know that the Nation of Islam had distribution centers and factories and all kind of stuff. So with the 11 million, we didn't open up a supermarket. We didn't start a rehab center. We didn't do nothing for the Black community with $11 million. But yet you were making almost $1 million as the manager of the fund. Hey, it just doesn't look good, player. It just doesn't look good. So Will Jay Morrison be going to jail? I don't know. I hope not, but it doesn't look good. All right, guys. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, let me know, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.